Here we go. No, we're live now. All right, welcome back to Fallout Session 18. We were just discussing schedules coming up with the holidays coming up, seeing what days we're going to be having to skip. But we'll have that out to you on the next stream. Today, quick recap. You guys had went down to Brazos. I've changed some of the names a little bit so we didn't just have Tang Outpost on 3 different areas and have to like, oh, which Tang Outpost is it? We got the actual names of the counties now. So you went down to Brazos to look for traces of the missing caravan. You eventually found what you believe to be what was happening to it, and you found that cave, the Raider Cave, wiped out the Raiders. And now you're basically you're at the cave right now, where I got the yellow circle at. If you guys still have the Texas map open. And so right there between Waco and Brazos, and then the old, what used to be the Tang Outpost in the northeast is now Kaufman. That's the Kaufman County. What would you guys like to do? Yep, you've got Betsy loaded up. You got yourselves loaded up. I don't think you guys are like over encumbered in any way, but you've definitely loaded up everything that you can take. This one, I mean, this one doesn't have a lock. At least, well, not a functioning lock. Oh, let me turn that off. Let me turn that tavern music off. We're no longer in the waiting to start. It doesn't have a functioning lock at the moment. However, it does have what used to be a type of electronic lock that you think either would have taken some kind of security key, a security card, or even, well, I'm going to have to use our modern terminology, near field communication, NFC. So like your Pip-Boy being close enough would trigger it. The one Pip-Boy between you. Well, there's a little bit more than just reprogramming that is needed. It's been busted. Yep. So, did either one of you join the Conca website yet? Okay. That's all right. So, let me go ahead and give you a few descriptions here. Make sure I'm pulling up the right one. Yeah, so you're nearby to Waco. So I'm going to give you Brazos, and I'm going to give you Waco, since you've been to both of them, and you know enough about their trade routes. Starting off with Waco. Waco, once a thriving Texan city, now stands as a resilient hub of survival in the aftermath of the apocalypse. The settlement has transformed into a bustling center of activity, housing both the hardy locals and the operational headquarters of the Texas Army National Guard, otherwise known as TANG. The town is recognized for its resourceful scavengers who brave the wasteland to salvage supplies and technology crucial to the community's sustenance. One of Waco's unique strengths lies in its ability to produce a range of post-war beverages, a coveted commodity in the harsh new world. The expertise of local brewers and distilleries has turned the town into a vital source of such provisions, sought after by neighboring settlements. Beyond this, Waco is renowned for its impressive cache of high-tech equipment, carefully curated and safeguarded. This valuable arsenal has become a symbol of the town's resilience and a beacon of hope for those seeking refuge in these trying times. So as Waco and Brazos. In Brazos, the resilient community has taken root amidst the remnants of the once prosperous Brazos Manufacturing Company, now referred to as the Harper Foundry. Within its sturdy walls, the people of Brazos have managed to maintain functional greenhouses where the precious crop of cotton flourishes against all odds. The Harper family, the stalwart guardians of this newfound haven, oversee the day-to-day operations and ensure the continued prosperity of their community. Brazos has become a bustling trade hub, drawing survivors from far and wide, all seeking the valuable resources and technology that the town has to offer. The outpost of the Tang stands as a formidable bulwark against any threats that may loom on the horizon. Their presence instills a sense of security among the inhabitants, allowing them to focus on their endeavors and maintain a semblance of normalcy in the challenging times. So that is Waco and Brazos, both of which you would have heard enough about Waco during your time in Carbon, and you've recently been to Brazos, being like the southern trade hub with any settlements further to the south outside of the Tang influence. So that should give you a little bit more situational awareness to add to your analysis of your current situation. Yes, if you wish to hear it. Built over the remains of the pre-war city of Carbon, Texas, it's a small community of farmers and breeders of Brahmin. It is governed by a mayor named Richard. Carbon is located right next to a large crater that was caused by the Great War, and half of the town fell into it. Carbon's main income is from farming and mills. There are other small businesses like bars and shops as well. Brahmin and mills, so farming, it's agricultural. I suppose you could say it's a combination. It's going to be vegetable. Maize is about the only thing they can get to grow. Um, and then there are some wheats that they are able to grow as well, but not very many that are that resilient. Both. They're a major source of anything that's closely resembling pre-war beverages. Waco is actually, in our real world, is the founding location of Dr. Pepper. So I'm going to do something similar to that in this. I was going to say it's going to found the founding place of Nuka-Cola, but that's already somewhere else in the Fallout universe. But I'm working on something there. So, but all the like all the rock guts and everything, most of your taverns have. Any that they have in excess supply comes from Waco. Yeah, they got a bottling factory. Waco is also it's also known for its technology storage or cache. Because pre-war, it was both a major source of beverages. Actually, not the founding place, but it housed a large manufacturing plant for Nuka-Cola. And also had a lot of like higher tech manufacturing that happened there. Now that tech is still there, but not really manufacturing. The only thing they're really manufacturing, producing is the beverages, but they still trade in the technology because they have, they have a lot of it. They're just not making new pieces of tech. Not really, not robotics. While the pre-war manufacturing might have used robotics to do the manufacturing, what was actually being manufactured is closer to personal computer stuff. Yep. Most of the clothes that anybody in the Texas wasteland that wears is probably can be traced back to, if the technology existed to trace it back, could be traced back to Brazos at this point. Kaufman. Um, you have not learned anything about Kaufman yet. Yeah, Goodfellow Air Force Base is a pre-war military base ruin. That is where you went and had the underground lab that took you to the Parallax. Still, the last you saw him, he was in Carbon with Jammer. That's where your money went. Yeah, yeah. Enough ammunition for something. Pocket cash. Pocket change. Well, mm-hmm. The green ones? Magazines. Really? Huh. I mean, yeah, four of those. Still, you'd have to use something more than just your own body to carry them. But nothing else. Yeah. All right. So, with you guys potentially setting up your home base here in the previously occupied by Raiders cave, travel to and from Waco and Brazos will require no random roll on the encounter table. Um, it'll become like a well-traveled area for you, and plus, since you're right in between two major cities that have a trade route between them, your we won't be doing any kind of random rolls on encounters when you move between the two locations. That being said, we're going to go and fast travel a little bit to Waco, and as you enter the city, this one here feels more like a city. Um, there is a bit more activity going here. It's much larger than Carbon was, for sure. There's a main street that is, while not perfectly well kept, it is clean of trash, and the concrete sidewalks are still in fairly decent shape. You can see where it's actually been patched by post-war concrete mixers who are, yeah, maybe not as good as the pre-war guys were, but have done a good enough job to make it level again. You just really only see the difference in the coloration of the concrete. On every side as you walk down Main Street, there are different outlets selling their own brands of beverages. And at the end of Main Street is the major warehouse that on the top of it still reads. Let me go back to that so I get the name right. Oop, that was the wrong button. Still reads Nuka Cola on it. Well, mostly. Lots of parts of the different letters have fallen off. But underneath it, you can see a hand-painted sign. It says Beaumont Family Beverages. And that is the largest one there. You can see that this particular family has taken over the major bottling factory here. Although there are several other small ones here along the sides of Main Street. You also see several other locations that their signs indicate that they deal in electronics, small electronics, electronic parts, repairs. Not many repairs, mostly just salvaged parts that are for sale. There are caravan masters, leaders going up and down here with their Brahmin, picking up beverages from some of the areas, picking up electronic parts from others. And then you can see that some of these caravans are heading out northwest towards Carbon. Some are heading a little bit more directly north towards Kaufman from Waco here after they have acquired their stuff. It's just very busy. If it wasn't for the fact that you were told that Brazos was the de facto trade hub, you would feel like Waco perhaps fits that description better in the how busy it is. Near the town center, you also see a job board. And if you will open up your quests window and select job board Waco, you will see the currently posted quests, or jobs rather, that are available here in Waco. And just because I have it, there's Main Street. There you go. Basic layout of Main Street. I'm not going to put any tokens or anything on there since we're not really going to interact with it directly, but that's kind of the general idea. The main, the doors at the back are at the northern side of the map. That's the doorway into the former Nuka-Cola bottling plant, now the Beaumont Family Bottling Company or something. I did not get the actual name for their company solidified. And then near that doorway is actually the job board. Huh. Okay. That's weird. Well, okay, don't worry about it. Just look at the quests. Don't know why. That is weird. The others are working. Zoom out. You're at the end of Main Street on this map. Okay. All right, Jack. Okay. Yeah, this is actually a very small map. It's only 20 by 20. All right, so I'll enter drawing mode here just to do it this better way. So I'll just very quickly point out a couple things. This is the entrance to the Beaumont bottling factory. And then this right here and this one here on either side mirroring each other. Those are both electronic stores. And then you have the second largest bottling. You're not sure if they're actually a bottling company or not, but they're definitely selling beverages. They're not a bar or anything. They're just like people come in, buy their beverages, and go out in bulk. And then the one across from it is actually a tavern. And then the small little sign right next to the Beaumont entrance is the job board. Yeah, quests, job board Waco in the group. Uncategorized and all. So the drop down only gives you all and uncategorized. Okay. I'll just do it like this then. That should push it out to you. Did that push out 4 little windows to you? Okay. Well, that is weird. Why wouldn't it? Maybe I need to make a note. Do it. Excuse me. All right, I just shared a story. I don't know if you guys have the story button on the far right. Okay. I'll put the job boards over there from that one. Yep. So the available jobs here right now, as you're walking around, you see a few other mercenaries, potentially similar to how you operate, just walking around, looking at the job board and just shaking their heads, moving on. But the 4 you have that are available right now, you see one that there's somebody trying to do some experimenting with farming, relocation efforts, salvage runs, and medicine recovery. Mm-hmm. Oh, sure. Yeah, I probably should have had you do that. I did kind of jump you guys forward there. Yeah, it'll be a repair, since you're able to look at it and very immediately tell that it needs repairs. So we're going to go with the repair skill to see if you can figure out what you will need. Difficulty is 2. Everything's set for you to roll. Mm-hmm. Success. Oh yeah, very nice. So without getting into, yeah, that's true. Without getting into like unnecessary details about specific parts, you are, yeah, you know how to fix it. You know what you need to fix it. So you know what you're looking for, and we will do. We're going to do perception intelligence for looking for it when you look at the different shops. So it'll be both perceiving it and intelligence to recognize that it is the actual item. Yeah, you could do perception. Yeah, I said that entirely wrong, didn't I? Perception intelligence. Perception science, yes. That's better. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can do I'll let you choose perception science or perception repair. Either one technically will work for this. You could take the broken parts with you. The ones you're trying to replace, yeah. Match it up, yeah. The job board posting doesn't seem to indicate a rush on it. So it sounds like... No. I am not all-knowing, unfortunately. Okay. Okay. So the medicine cache recovery, I know I don't have a description there. Descriptions are a work in progress, getting all the templates worked out, right? But the contact for the medicine cache recovery, there's a doctor in town. He is the one that's posted that, and he feels like it should be just about a milk run for the most part. You, of course, are welcome to any other loot that's there aside from the medical cache itself. That's all he's wanting out of it. And he says it's literally just in the outskirts of town, but nobody else is really concerned with recovering medical supplies. There's not been a run on medical supplies in town lately. But this doctor is looking forward, and he's paid attention to the rumors that have been going around about the raiders getting more aggressive and everything. So he's just trying to be prepared. So he's aware of this place, but he doesn't have the ability to go out there, and nobody else has been like, well, there's an actually need to. So nobody's come up to do it. So he's very grateful that you are taking on this job. And it is the outskirts of town, so it's not even a day's travel for you. The salvage run is actually one of the salvage shops here near the main street. This guy, he's got plenty of salvage. The whole town does, but he's always looking to add more. If he can get it for cheap, then that's what he wants it for. Now it does say requires pre-war technology to fortify their defenses. He kind of lied. He's just trying to get attention to bring people in to do the job for him. You're able to fairly quickly to get him to confess to that. Now, once again, it's on the outskirts of town, so not even a day's travel. It is on the same side of town as the medical facility. What was it? The farming. So there is now not on Main Street. You have to go over to some of the residential areas to find this person because they're not involved in the business of Waco. They're trying to do something other than beverage and technology crafting. This person feels that Waco should be providing itself with its own food and kind of have the ability, if not the necessity to, but have the ability to be self-sustaining with its own food supply. The problem with that is that there's not a lot of arable land around Waco that all the standard crops that the other settlements can grow in. So he's got a location of a potentially more resilient seed that he thinks could survive in the post-apocalyptic soil much better, in this wasteland better. And would like you to go and retrieve that. This particular location is actually going to be much further away. You're looking at roughly 4 days travel to get there, if the facility even exists. All right. Yep. So you locate the nearest. Well, it's not hard to find since this is the headquarters of Tang, and you inform them about the raiders. Is there anything in particular you'd like to tell them? Like extra details, or just like kind of turn into quest? We got the raiders. We found the caravan. Shouldn't be a problem anymore. Anything other than that? Mm-hmm. Aside from what the Raiders had, not really. I mean, there's still a bunch of stuff back there that you couldn't pick up. That was like several caravans worth of supplies that would have been on trade routes. Yeah, they had a lot of produce there. Since they were taking on the caravans between Waco and Brazos, there's beverages, produce on its way to Brazos, and some cotton supplies as well. Well, I mean, if you look at the quest description, you tell me. I know what I would do. And just so you know, there's no real way for you to know which cargo the raiders had that belonged to this particular caravan. Okay. So that quest is going to reward you 200 XP. And you will each get 2,000 caps apiece. The Tang officer that you report to thanks you for your service and is very grateful that this particular raider group will not be an issue anymore, and issues you another bonus for having eliminated an entire raider party in the amount of 500 caps apiece. While you are working on your numbers there, where are you headed first? The medical facility or the salvage facility? All right. The map may be black when you get it. Don't worry about that. All right. So you head out to the medical facility. You guys got all your stuff done? All right. So you make your way to the medical facility and you arrive. Oh, did I not have a door on the outside? I don't have a door on the outside. I'll have to put you inside, I guess. Or I can create a door real quick. Thought I had a door. Just do that. Now, so there's a door almost directly in front of you there. Or directly in front of Slash. The facility seems very much like the doctor described it. It's abandoned. You don't see any signs of life on the outside. You hear some noises on occasion coming from the inside. It could be from creatures, critters. It could just be the wind. It is fairly windy around here in this particular area. So the wind could just be moving things about. But other than that, you don't really see a ton of activity here. It's about midday, about noon. Let me fix that door. Oh, I had the door drawn as the full-blown square instead of like the small part I usually do. I wasn't expecting you to go flanking the door. Now I will say Betsy is not going to fit through this door. All right. Yep. Okay. All right. I've unlocked your tokens. You're not in combat, so you're not in turn order. Just do go 5 squares at a time. Kind of discuss it. We'll still go like rounds, but you're free to move as you wish. Yep. As you enter into the main lobby, um, you look around, you see that a lot of the stuff around here has been scavenged. You see several benches upturned, twisted. They don't look at all like they're in a position that would be conducive to some kind of medical facility, uh, heavily indicating that this place has been scavenged and run through many times. On either side, you see windows into what appears to be offices with shelving behind them. And the red planter things you see there, those are these plants. Some of them actually still look like they're in somehow decent shape. They are plastic, they're artificial plants. But you feel like they probably should have rotted a long time ago or something happened to them. But at least the two by the main entrance there seem to be in decent shape. You've got the yellow is windows, the blue is the doors. Yeah, and the yellow line is where the doors are at. The newer maps will have an X there instead of just a line. So yeah, through there you see the desk with an old terminal on it, broken. The back projection tube is completely busted. And you see some lockers behind there, some filing cabinets. Yep, there's another door over there. So the main entrance into this little office area is from further inside. All right. As you get to there, fairly solid. You looks like they're on tracks. As you get into that position there, get a different color. On this side right here, you see um, what you know to be an old world cash register. Now I'm going to delete that marker now, but that's where you see it at. Yeah, it looks like it. There's a handle on the desk side that is very clearly meant to make it easy to open. Um, but, well, I mean, yeah, that's all I'm going to tell you. You got to figure it out. Yes. Oh no, no. The half windows. So like yep. No, not from your current position. Don't click on the doors. Um, so let's do this from now on. Before you click on doors, check to make sure that they're unlocked. Yeah. So these two doors, as you try them, they are locked. There are not keypads, but card readers next to them. Slash is like, all right, back through the window. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's going to be something to do with agility. Um, yeah, let's. Oh, and lockpick uses perception. Oh no, do agility and lockpick. Oh, let me. Yes. All right. That gets you an action point. Go and roll your assisted roll as well. Nope. Nada. All right. So Jack is able to nimbly just put enough pressure on the glass to slide it to the side. It appears as though the locking mechanism on the other side, while it looked like it was keeping the window in position, uh, a little bit of jiggling allowed it to fall, and it clattered a little bit on the desk, and the window just slid sideways. All right, so Bane will need to do a athletics check to jump up and go across. Well, then you will need to do an athletics check because the desk is not flush with the bottom of the window. It is further down, so you could lean over the window, but then you're having to lower him down a few foot, or not a few foot, about a foot and a half from the top edge of the window down to the desk. I've spent some time in medical reception areas. Well, the dog's not really going to be able to assist here because you're the way you're picking them up, they're just not going to have the ability to. Slash, depending on the size of Bane, I mean, I can see it going both ways. So we're going to roll a 20. You call odd or even. Call it. Odd it is. You get to roll an assist. All right. All right, that's an action point for you guys. And um, if you click the open button on the window, you can go through. Yes. Yes. Switch to agility for your since you're going through the window this time. You got 2 successes. That's another action point for you guys. You should be able to move through um, the window since it's open now. Yeah. No, if in order to assist, the primary roller has to succeed first. A success. Mm. All right, there you go. You succeed. All right. That door has no card reader or anything on it. It is unlocked. Yep. Most of it's trash on the grounds. As you get closer to all the containers in the back, you notice that they're not lockers. They're just filing cabinets. You flip through them a little bit and you find that's just most of it's really faded over time or degraded, but it's medical records of people that are long gone. You do, however, find in the cash register 1,000 pre-war dollars, which I will add to the loot screen. Cards. Oh, right, right. Well, you're gonna have to roll for that. Perception, survival. All right, that is 2 extra points for you. And you find in one of the a jammed drawer on one of the desks a an ID card with a magnet strip on it that seems like it might. Yeah. Yeah. You said magnet card. And I'm like, wait a minute. But yes, a magnet strip are on these cards. So I suppose magnet card works. Yeah, you believe it'll work on one of these. It has a picture of a very faded picture of a what looks to be a nurse on it. Through that window, nothing of note except it seems like this particular medical facility had interior. What is that called? An interior park break area that was outside. Yeah, I don't know what to call that. It's like the building's a square, but in the middle of the square is an open area that's open to the world, to the sky or something. I don't know. You'll see it better. So what? Mm. Eh, sounds good enough to me. Yeah, courtyard. That's what I was looking for. All right, the door opens. You could go ahead and click to open it. Yep. And through there, you kind of see, you see the courtyard in the middle there. You see long hallway. The hallway stretches to either side of you. Of course, you got a shorter end of it on your left. You see doors on your left going up, and you see a mirrored door on your immediate right. You imagine that it has mirror doors going up as well, just individual rooms along the hallways here. All right. So at this point, go ahead. You go ahead and finish saying that, and then I'll say my thing. It is at this point that you begin to hear metallic metal on concrete steps, or metal on muffled concrete. The floor is mostly still carpeted, but it's concrete underneath. And you hear the occasional metal on concrete, the occasional metal on carpeted concrete, in slow, labored pattern. Coming from both sides. Jack, you see in the distance a Protectron. It is colored in the medical style that you recognize as from pre-war. It has not yet noticed you. Yes. Yeah, if you want to do a knowledge check, or maybe intelligence check, just a base intelligence check, you can glean a little bit more information from what you're observing there. If I remember correctly, we just roll a two d20s, and it's 7's your number. Not for this particular check. This is more like, if we had like the Edge of the Empire system, it'd be a history check. So unless you can think of a skill that we have available that would be history, we're just gonna have to go with basic intelligence. 16 and 14. No, you're aside from saying like it's got the standard paint. And maybe I misspoke a little bit earlier. It's not like a fresh paint. It's been painted its entire life. It's faded, and it does have the medical emblem on there. And you see standard hands, but you can't really, aside from knowing that they're supposed to be like medical assistants, you don't remember all of their capabilities. All right. As as you come around the corner, it notices you, it sees you, and it turns to face you. Greetings, citizen. Please state your medical needs. Greetings, citizen. Please state your medical needs. As you step out, Slash, its photo processor senses you and detects you almost immediately, and it changes its focus from Slash to you, Jack. Greetings, citizen. Sensors indicate you have consumed a massive amount of radiation. Please proceed to the operation center so that we can assist you. And it indicates with its arm, and its torso, it kind of swings a little bit to the right, though it seems to be catching a little bit in there. Its servos are not working as correctly as it should be. Your radiation damage is severe. Immediate attention is required. Please proceed to the operation room. Okay. You're gonna have to do a science roll. So we're going to start. This will be a staged roll, different stages. Initially, just trying to connect to it with your Pip-Boy wirelessly. At this point, unless you want to go closer and attempt to jack in manually. Okay. Yep. All right. So that's going to be a difficulty 2. You're good to go for the roll. I see how it is. You help each other until you have enough action points, and you spend action points. And look at that. You get the action point back. All right. You've successfully connected to it. On your Pip-Boy, the interface comes up. It's daggone with the name. I had the name and then it just went away. It's the standard name of the company that writes all the operating software for the robots. Man, who was it? It doesn't matter right now. Yeah, if you can look that up. Robco, yes. It says Robco at the top in the center, and it does, it's, the Fallout interface. It's like DOS writing out the code interface, and it gives you a few options to change behavior. And you got a few options there. It says its current behavior is set to medical. You have the option to switch it to fire brigadier, law enforcement, construction worker, or subway steward. And then there's an advanced area underneath that. changes location. So you'll you probably want to click on the or choose the advanced option. All right, advanced. Here you have the following options of return to charging station. You have reprogram with custom code requires admin authorization. You have override or not override. Make it aware of an emergency situation that it has not alerted to yet. And then, no, it left me. That's it. Um, yeah, yeah. Okay. Emergency situation in Waco detected. Preparing facilities. It turns around and begins heading back up the hallway. It's about this time you realize you're in Waco, so it's already where it's supposed to be at. Mm. Okay. You hear the footsteps of another one coming down the hallway behind you as you follow this one along. We're going to put it into position there. You guys can go ahead and move up as you wish. How close behind it are you following? Right. It gets to this door and it stands in front of the door for a moment. You hear some beeps and clicks coming from it, and then the door opens. And it proceeds to another door within that same room. As you get up close and you see it approach the other door, this door closes. I didn't say you were locked out. Well, the door doesn't have an ID card slot. It's a normal um, uh, door. Yeah, just a door. Well, I mean, the door has mechanical parts to it, but it also looks like it was designed for the robot that cannot open the door the way a human does. That was added, and then a human would just use the handle normally. As you open it, two things happen at once. The droid, the robot inside, turns to you. Pardon, citizen. Do you have an appointment with the doctor? Pardon, citizen. Do you have an appointment with the doctor? Please stand by. Searching reference files for medical supplies order. It kind of goes into a bit of a standby mode, looking for that medical supply order, while the Protectron behind you comes up. Greetings, citizens. This is a pet-free facility. Please remove your pet from the facility. It's exactly like the other one, with the exception of the paint is fading in a different pattern. Mm-hmm. Service dogs are allowed. However, they must be accompanied by the appropriate certification. Citizen, this is a second warning. Please remove your pet from this pet-free facility. Okay. Yep. Just taking the dog out and coming back. As soon as it sees that you're complying with the order that was given, it will allow you to do so. As you're turning to walk out, though, the first Protectron comes back out of its idle state. No request for medical supplies has been found on record. Please speak with the doctor again to ensure that it has been filed correctly. Sure. One moment. Nurse Margaret Reynolds. Thank you, ChatGPT. The supplies are prepared for the emergency situation. The supplies are prepared for the emergency situation. All right. So we're gonna reset things a little bit here as you guys have gone out. We're gonna open up one of these doors that takes the key card. Because I'm assuming you're both going out because you only got one key card. All right. So you right. Oh no, it's very small. Well, large map, but very small event. so it wouldn't be too big of a deal. All right, so things are ready. You got dog meat back. He's outside. He's pouting a little bit, um, but he's being a good boy, and he's or not dog meat, Bane. Um, Dog meat's the perk. He's out there. He's being a good boy and doing as told. Um, he looks over at Betsy, sees that she's got a rope on, and he's like, kind of perks him up a little bit. He sits up a little bit straighter. He's like, yeah, I don't have a rope on. As he sits there. All right, so you've got that situation handled. You shouldn't run into the protectrons telling you to get your pet out of here anymore. How would you like to proceed? I So before you leave that area entirely, um, so technically before you leave in the reception uh, or the lobby, I want you both to give me a perception, survival perception. All right. Excuse me, Jack. You've succeeded. Um, Slash. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do with that complication. Um, yeah, that's the only other thing I can think of is the door slammed on your ear, but that might be too harsh. So I'll take the action point. Jack, now that you've been in the facility for a little bit, you've been further in, you've come back this way, you're kind of getting accustomed to the noises and where the noises are coming from. You hear some beeping that it's been there the entire time, but you assumed it came from further in, or maybe from one of the robots once you encountered the robots. But now that you have encountered both of them, you've noticed that this beeping actually is stronger while you're here in the lobby than it was when you were with the robots. Or it's louder here in the lobby than it was with the robots. Okay. Any particular area you'd like to investigate? Keeping in mind the lobby includes, when I say lobby, that includes the sitting area that the patients would sit in waiting to be called back, and the reception slash register areas. Okay. Then we will increase the difficulty by 1 and have you roll the survival perception again. Hey, critical. So you tell Slash to get quiet. Make sure the doors are sitting still, and you sit there and you close your eyes and you just listen. And the beeping is coming from the other receptions desk that you guys have not yet investigated, or from that office. When you arrive, you find that the terminal on that desk is actually still intact. All right. I mean, yeah, I would recommend that. Yeah, that door will be open since the only door with the card reader is the one in the lobby. These are open for you. Um, all right, then who's going to interact with the computer, if anybody? All right. It's the one you're at. The other one just has the cash register, or has a monitor or a computer as well, but that one's busted. This here's the one that's working. It shows or it has a session running right now. Has a few options on there. Most of them are meaningless. You know, there's patient logs. But the one that catches your eye is it shows prescriptions. Will you select it? All right. So you select prescriptions and you see individual files. You start opening some of them and closing them. Nothing here is really actionable to where you can actually create a new prescription. But if you will do me a perception, it'll be a perception survival because it's noticing particular information. It's not manipulating the computer itself. All right, that is a success with 2 action points. You notice a common theme throughout all these prescription lists is that not only is it giving the medicine, the patient name, the doctor name, it's saying what room it's been submitted from, indicating that each individual exam room has potentially the ability to submit prescription requests from the exam room. Correct. You also find when you figure that out, you start backing out, and then you notice one other menu item you had not seen before, and that is to schedule an appointment for a walk-in patient. Walk-in patient. In the schedule menu, you have you fill out the patient's name, all that standard stuff, and you select a room for them to be in. It does. It gives you a full list of the room numbers. Now, we don't have them on the map here, but we can work around that easy enough. Okay. All right. So you fill it out. What room would you like to choose? There is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 rooms. So 1 through 6. Room 6. Okay. Okay. Got it. So when you come out, room 6, to your best guess, or it's exam room 6 is what it's really calling it, is the third room from the bottom on the right. Slash, as you exit that room, And as you're coming out, Jack, the Protectron notices you in the room as you're coming out of it. And of course, turns its attention to you. This is a restricted area. Please vacate the offices immediately. And of course, as you're walking out, it sees that you're now clear of the office and turns its head and returns to its walking pattern. To your right and third room up, yes. And the other rooms are offices / storage rooms, that kind of thing. The courtyard, it looks like it was used as a lounge area, recreational area, probably mostly for the employees of the clinic. The benches are all turned up for the most part, weathered by time. Some of them, were not turned up by any person. They were actually just, fell over because their legs rotted off. And it looks, aside from having remnants of a recreational area out there, it looks like any other part of the wasteland. No. All right, so Jack is at the door. Yep, this is a normal door, regular handle on it. And inside, you see that there's the typical exam room facilities for the Fallout universe. And there is a computer on the desk in the corner. However, this computer is busted. From the hallway, you hear, "Patient Jack. Patient Jack. The doctor will see you now." The medical Protectron walks back over to get into range. A little bit slow and labored because they're not the fastest robots. "Citizen, are you the guardian of patient Jack?" "Then you are in the correct room. Please be patient while the doctor..." And then it trails off there. Okay. All right. Scavenging, medical. Yeah, tiny is smaller than small, right? Yeah. I was looking for diminutive because this is a little bit smaller than that. Yeah, this will be fine. We'll roll that. All right, a large backpack actually in here. Some cage armor. It appears some raiders have been here before. Of course, you find 25 pieces of junk that you can. Most of the junk is as we're progressing and you guys start to do more with your own HQ. Junk will become more and more useful. Right now, it's mostly going to be you'll trade it for functional parts. what you perceive as a sack hood and one stim pack. I will add this to the loot. All right. How would you like to proceed? Okay. Which rooms would you like to check out? Well, we're gonna, excuse me. We're gonna do a kind of a one roll to cover all of them. You've kind of figured out how to, excuse me, for the most part, avoid the whole you're trespassing from the robots, so that you can very quickly check these. But I do want to know exactly which ones you want to check in this roll. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's two below you, and then it's mirrored on the other side. And then you know that there are another 3 rooms above you, and again, mirrored on the other side, but they're not exam rooms. They appear to be a mixture of offices and storage. The one that the Protectron went into on the top left looks to be office that led to a storage. You didn't get a good look at it because the Protectron is kind of like, you're not supposed to be in here. And then you're not sure what the rooms are at the very top of the building or the map. Okay. You just want to do those to start with? All right, so we're going to go with difficulty 2. One of you will take the primary, and the other one will assist in this particular search, just since you're kind of, and we're going to say you're quote unquote splitting up to do this, but one of you will check one room, the other one will check the other. But you two decide who's going to take the lead, and the other one will assist. Perception survival. All right, so Jack, you roll the skill, and then once he's done with that, if he has a success, / you roll 1. Jack has succeeded, tying the difficulty. So you guys succeed. Now it's just like, do you get an action point or not from your roll /? And you do. In fact, you got survival tagged, right, /? So that's a crit. So that's 2 action points. All right. You do not find a working computer in either of these exam rooms. And we will continue, as much as you want to, we will continue doing a 2-room search with the team assisted roll. Okay. Go ahead and make those rolls again. We've got a success on a 2 difficulty /. Not as the assister. but that meets your thing, so that's an action point for you guys, and a success on the search. Once again, these two rooms do not have a working computer. They do not seem to be storage of any kind. They were strictly offices, where the doctors just would sit. You see a few personal effects in one of them, but nothing that grabs your attention. So that was those two. So now you got this one. Now the one you're standing at slash, you know that the other room that's mirror had another room off of it. So this room, if it's mirrored, may have another room off of it as well. And then, yep. And then these are the two rooms that you're at right now. So, go ahead and make your rolls again. All right, Jack, you earned yourselves an action point. Slash, go ahead and make your assist. And nothing there. But nonetheless, Jack succeeded for you guys. Jack, in this room, you see one Protectron charging station and a working terminal on the desk. However, the sign above the door and then the sign on the desk itself, the nameplate on the desk, indicates that this is a security room. So maybe it's a working terminal. You're not sure what it'll work for. You also notice that there is another door to the north in this room that is closed. So you will not, don't go in there, Jack, or slash. But you're in the security room. So you want to stay in the security room? Yeah, your guys are trying to not attract the attention of the Protectrons right now. So it's like, just hitting the button, letting the door open. As long as you don't enter, you don't trigger their attention. Do I need to move them around so that you see them on the screen? So you're like, don't do anything to get their attention. It's like he's on patrol right here. He's walking by you. It seems like when they're not actively engaged in conversation, they seem to be on the exact opposites of the building from each other at all times. So, all right. Um, how would you like to get its attention? Hello, citizens. The doctors are in. So, yeah, I mean, these guys are pretty, yeah. So, if you have to be a little bit more specific with them if you're wanting to get a certain reaction. Damaging the clinic's property is a serious crime, citizen. Please refrain from causing damage. Damage noted. According to records, all terminals are working. Patient Jack should proceed to exam room 6. Of course, poor lost citizen. Please follow me to exam room 6. It turns and begins lumbering slowly down the hallway to exam room 6. About 10 paces out, you feel it's safe enough to attempt to enter the security room. You may. Yeah, same thing. All right, you believe you're stealthy. Uh, Nothing like major. The door to the north seems to have a low hum coming from it of some kind of electronic system is running back there. You hear the typical low hum coming from the terminal on the desk itself, but it's not beeping like the reception room one was. It does not. All right. The terminal is locked. There is a password for it. You will need to do a science roll. Difficulty is set. While he is preparing that, the Protectron has delivered you to exam room 6, Jack. As it does, it turns. At this point, the other Protectron has caught up to it. Their pattern is slightly off now because of, reasons. And the Protectron returns to its course back towards the front. You notice that the second Protectron stops at the corner and does not proceed any further, while Protectron 1 is moving up towards the northeast corner. And Slash, go ahead and make your science roll, please. You did not. You left that open. You closed it a few minutes ago while I was working with Jack. So I'm going to have to GM that one back. Try to be sneaky there. I told you thought you were being sneaky. You knew what was coming. You realized your mistake. All right, so you have succeeded in cracking the password. You're logged in. You're logged in as admin on this security terminal. But before you get the chance to really look at it closely, you hear the steps outside, and you look up and you realize that you have indeed forgot to close the door. Warning, citizen. You are trespassing. You must leave immediately. No, it just said logged in as admin. You are now trespassing. Be advised that deadly force may be used against you. Okay, if you want the options, all right, we're going to take this step by step. There are a few options here. One, you have the same options as you had originally for when you remotely connected to the Protectron. So the change in their behavior, setting them to like there's an emergency somewhere, so set them to go to that, return to their charging stations or station. Then the advanced setting button is there, but you don't get any more than that on this first screen without choosing one of those options. After you're sitting there, you're kind of trying to get out, trying to make it look like you're moving to the door, but looking at the computer screen, the Protectron continues its verbal assault against you. This is a restricted area. You will be sanctioned with deadly force if you do not leave immediately. When you hit the button, a warning pops up on the screen and says, warning, trespass situation in progress. Return to power station cannot be executed. Once that warning, after that warning comes up, the Protectron continues. Leave the restricted area immediately. No further warning is required. After it says required, you hear a low hum coming from the Protectron and it begins to build a little bit louder. Getting louder and louder. As you exit the door, let's see here. Yeah, as you exit the door, the hum dies down. You notice sparks on the hands kind of like flickering a little bit as they go away, and its arms begin to relax to its side. Your compliance is appreciated, citizen. And then got to remember that button. Then it attempts to walk past you into the security room. For your safety, please stand clear. All right, it will continue on in. It'll go to the charging station, and you see it shut itself down to charge. All right. Okay, everything all good? Okay. So while he's there, Jack, you and I can be sitting here. Oh, you're back. Okay, that's fine. Jack, having you're half in the room 6, half out, watching all this happen, having seen the one Protectron go in. You're not really sure what it's doing, but you're assuming Slash accomplished something since he's going back in after it. But a few moments after the first Protectron goes into the office, the other Protectron resumes its course and continues up the hallway towards the far corner. Would you like to do anything, Jack, as this Protectron passes by your location? Mm, okay. Okay. Um, what are these guys? Actually, they don't have any resistance. Oh no, there's immune to radiation. Immune to radiation. So yeah, okay. I just needed to know if they were immune or not, so I could conceive of an appropriate response. Um, wife is texting me about supper. Is it that late already? Goodness. Um, I had two maps ready. I was like, you'll get through this one real quick and get to the salvage one. Nope. Um, and yeah, I mean, you're doing fine. There's actually things I wasn't sure if you'd get to the security terminal or not. Um, so there's going to be things in there. So your radiation pulse, you let that go, and the protectron, while not affected by it, it does notice it. Greetings, citizen. Your radiation levels are extremely high. Please proceed to the operation room. Of course, citizen. Please follow me to the operation room. And it proceeds forward, leading you to the operation room. Jack, Slash, you see some of this kind of happening just as you duck your head back into the security office. How would you like to proceed? Okay. It is charging. The indicator on the wall shows 75%. Okay. Yes, this terminal is just for the protectrons, the security system of this facility. Um, Jack, as the protectron positions himself next to the door, his stubby arm twists outwards and motioning you to this door. This seems to be the operation room that it is referring to. And once you enter, it closes the door behind you. Slash, I'm assuming you'll go to the advanced settings. Hmm. So in the advanced settings, you have once again the standard, custom programming. However, you have more options here than you had in the remote access version. You have the ability here to update IFF. This computer seems to be able to actually produce, well, not the computer itself, but something connected to it can produce new ID tags that the protectrons will be able to recognize. This computer has the ability to register new users for the protectrons, and to actually give the protectrons an entirely new location to operate in. Okay. You hear from the room adjacent something very high pitched and kind of stitchy. Like it seems like a very fast moving, like when you're typing on the keys on this computer, it sounds like that, but high pitched and much faster, and not so individualist. They're very like to get it like a old school printer. Yeah, yeah. No, you hacked into the computer, so these operations are all just available. Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, there's nurse, there's doctor, there's security personnel, and then there's admin. Okay. Would you like to search the desk? The desk? No, the next room. The door that you were not able to open earlier. Yeah, sure. Even though we didn't create one yet. Okay. Right. So you're going to go with the carbon doctor or the Waco doctor? Well, yeah, he's the one who gave you the quest to get here. Okay. Right. Because the key card you have is a nurse. You can search the desk. It's got some drawers. Yeah. Perception, survival. Success. You find two drawers that have potentially have stuff in them. One drawer definitely does. Another drawer is locked, so you're gonna have to do a lock pick on it. But the first drawer that you find a magazine that is the manual for the Pip-Boy remote operating system for Projectrons. And it has with it attached to it is the disc or the cassette tape, really is what they look like, for the Pip-Boy so that you can load that operating system up. And then difficulty is set for your lockpicking, should you choose to lockpick. Jack, in this room, you find an operational medical terminal. Slash, you have not succeeded. You have 1/2 of what you need. You can luck, yes. Yep. Until you're out of luck. But each one can only be lucked once. Actually, it's more like each one can only be re-rolled once. So you re-rolled the 14, it came at 14 again. Re-roll into 7, came at 15 this time. 18 is left. Right. There you go. So that's a critical. That gets you the success you need, plus 1 extra success, give you an action point back. You have successfully lockpicked this drawer, and in this drawer you find the Head of Security's access card. The Protectron on the wall, the charging states 90%. All right. You can go and open it now. You have the appropriate card for it. If you can find the button. There you go. Jack, the terminal that you're looking at does not appear to require a password at this moment. It seems to be logged in already. There's nothing here to make the Protectron specifically do anything. You can, nothing to transfer between facilities, at least. You can order up prescriptions. The Protectrons, from what you can gather, the Protectrons will go and get the prescription and deliver it to the reception desk where the patients will pick up their prescription on their way out. There is. Okay. Let me pulling up the AIDS stuff right now. All right, so dictahol. I'm going to create a parcel for this. So we're going to have a dictahol in there. Antibiotics. Mentats, would they have mentats? No, the mentats would not be something a medical facility would carry. Maybe Calmex. No, not Calmex. Well, buff out, probably not. Not specifically, because it's more like a steroid. But painkillers, I think those are coming up. I'm going in alphabetical order right now. Dirty water, Fury. Actually, there would be some dirty water in there. Why do I have a custom dirty water? for the weight. That's why. Yeah. We're going to put that in there for the fun of it. That's a post-war thing. So nothing else there. Let's go look at all the stim packs. Have that. Yeah, I'm gonna have one of those. No. I mean, yes, but not in the way that you were thinking I was talking about it. Yep, need both of those. What is this one? No, we're not gonna worry about that. That's too much like an actual drug that I don't feel like they would carry. Oh, that's interesting. I will put one of those in there. Okay, now for the numbers. Let's go with 50, 50, 50. 25 of those. Do 1,000 of those. And then 500 of those. Only one of those. Oh, no, we'll go 25, considering the amount of the other inventory. And 500 of those. Put 25 of those. All right. So this is the inventory. Slash, you get into the room. You hear a tick behind you as the percent charged on the Protectron goes up further. But as soon as you enter the room, you see in front of you 2 ID cards, freshly minted, laying on the printer bed. I'm sorry, 3. Yes, there's one for the doctor. I slipped my mind. Computers, server racks, basically. There also seems to be a in the far corner. You think it looks very similar to all the server racks, but you think based on kind of the glow and just the fact that this place is still powered relatively, at full power, it might be a fusion generator. So the fusion generator is built into the building, so massive. As this building has its own power source kind of style, not so it can it was never relying on the grid. There is, however, a fusion core in the fusion generator. Mhm. And then the charging station, you're speaking of the Protectron's charging station? Yeah. It is only in comparison to the Protectrons, which are about your height, or their average height, average width. The charging stations are about the same, proportionally the same size, just big enough to fit the Protectrons. However, you feel based on what they do and the material they're made out of, their weight is probably in magnitudes larger than their proportional sizes. Their mass is much larger than than they appear to be. And there is only one charging station for the Protectrons. Mm-hmm. As soon as you input the order for the other one to go to the charging station, this one exits the charging station. And this is a restricted area. You'll be sanctioned with deadly force if you do not leave immediately. It doesn't seem to respond to it. Well, you don't have to do that. There's other options. Speak to it. Remember, these are very dumb AI. They're not necessarily going to immediately read something unless they've been prompted. So as you're starting to say that, you say you're supposed to have admin access. The droid kind of interrupts you. Or the robot, not droid. Yeah. These are robots. They're not droids. It's not R2-2 or C-3PO. These are robots. So very dumb. That's your distinction. I'm sorry. Force signature not recognized. Please present ID. And then it's a focal sensor. You see it spin and focus, and a red light kind of flashes on the center of its viewport, indicating where to put the ID card for scanning. ID card registered. Facial recognition registered. Voice recognition registered. Welcome, admin / Of course, admin / this way to the medical supply room. Jack, you've got the inventory. You've got the computer. I mean, you can basically write a prescription for just about anything you want to right now. What would you like to do? No, you do not. Okay. As you are moving things into the prescription window, like you drag over, or not drag over, but you tell it to add a stim pack to the prescription. You notice that there's a list of patients that the prescription seems appropriate for. And the more items you add, that list dwindles further and further until finally you have everything added, and the only patient left that this prescription can be written for is Jack. It seems the other protectron has registered your massive amount of radiation, and has indicated that within the logical system that indeed you would need all of this medication to properly come through this. And as you are wrapping it up, there's a final option that appears. It says, assign medical protectron as personal assistant to patient, with a question mark. Or actually, that's the option down below, says yes or no. No? Okay. All right. You don't want a robot companion. Okay. It's fine with me. All right. All right. So considering the time, we will advance this a little bit. You end up meeting out in the hallway. One of the other Protectron has actually gathered up all the supplies and has taken it to the front, just as Slash and his Protectron arrive at the storage facility. You all end up meeting back at the front reception. And you get the supplies loaded up on Betsy. Actually, you have to use one of the Protectrons a little bit. Using the user manual for the Pip-Boy operating system to control the Protectrons, Slash, you're able to figure out that for the most part, anything you need them to do, you can just tell them to do it, as long as you're specific about what to do. Sometimes you have to be specific about what to do and how to do it. Like carry Bane over here. It may just pick up Bane, crushes his rib cage while trying to carry him. It was like, no, pick up Bane this way to carry him over here. So there are you figure out via the manual that you have to be specific with certain commands. But then also, correct, yeah. If it's not something that's pre-programmed in there, or it's something outside of its behavior. Yep, exactly. And then further, with the portable operating system to command them. Now, this operating system, the cassette that was for it, or the holotape for it, was programmed to these two specific. You figured out that you won't be able to use it to control any other Protectrons, just these two by serial number. Because I had the same thought patterns, like, oh, did I just give them a OP tool? So no. So just for these two, but you do find that you can completely reprogram their home base, give them a new blueprint, which will allow you to actually just completely set them up in the new clinic in Waco, so they know the rooms, they know the numbers, and you even are able to use that that holotape to on the Waco's doctor computer. Now, this will be whenever you guys do eventually go back to Waco, but you can set him up with the same control system on his computer while keeping the holotape for yourself and, of course, your access cards as well. The only thing that would have to be done here, you would have to come back here to print out any other new cards. Now, final question for you, Slash. Did you take the Fusion Core? Mm-hmm. All right. All right. We're going to go and wrap it up right there. You guys are getting ready to exit here. I'll let you two decide between now and next session if you're going to go onto your next salvage mission or if you just go back to Waco, because you got some stuff that's not normal to carry in between. But until okay.
To walking or something, or you said
Uh,
it's like on the outside of the village or town, right?
city, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what I was thinking is maybe we come back with a wagon and pick up the robots.
I mean, it's not that far. It's not even a day's walk. You're like an hour or
Right. I mean,
two.
I just didn't know, wear and
They
tear, if blah blah
they
blah
can
kind
do
of
it.
thing. So
They can do it without any
okay,
issue.
all right, all right. If
I
that's
did just
basically my question, if I think they can do that without much issue, I'll we'll go ahead and let them walk into town.
all
So.
right. I just realized that this whole time the audio from Discord has not been going to the stream.
Hmm.
So it's been a one-sided conversation on stream.
Oh no.
Crud.
Crap. Oh well, I just won't push this on the YouTube. It'll be a missed session, and we'll recap it for next time.
Well, at least you
Alright.
have, your audio. So if you need to go back and try to
Yeah.
figure out what happened.
Oh, that's not a problem. I'm taking notes as we go.
Oh, okay, all right.
All right. So that'll be that. These guys had a lot of fun with the robots today.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been fun to shoot destroy the robots, but I think in the long run, I think we'd rather take them into town and you know maybe sell them at a cheap price to the
Something.
the doctor.
Yeah.
Or ask for a large reward or something.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining the stream today. Sorry about the audio. I'll be better about that next time. Our next session is November 11th at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will see you then. A reminder, we will be skipping, for stream anyway, the next D&D session, as I will be at Stockholm Comic Con this year. But then we'll be back for that on the next session for that, and hopefully not miss any others until then. The next Fallout session, we'll also announce dates that we'll be missing for holidays. We'll be working that out, but we'll see you on the 11th of November. Until then, take care. Have a good one.
Alright.